Welcome to my retreat, a place to relax, to get away from it all, meet amazing people and have some fun. Come on in, this is my weekend escape.
That's a moment where I can just really let go and not think about...
Quite liberating, I suppose.
Like a butterfly, you know, opening your wings and just being set free. That's how it felt.
Having been told I wouldn't run again, I somehow find myself at the starting line for the 100 metres finals.
And that is the perfect combination for products to go on short hair if you want texture and hold. You're very welcome. You get all that?
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my retreat. Now, joining me today is a model, author, and star of Love Island and Strictly Come Dancing, Tasha Ghouri. She's going to be telling me all about her brand new memoir, Your Superpower. All that later on, but first, he's back again. It's everyone's, well, mine, it's everyone's favourite celebrity chef, Aldo Zilli. Welcome back. Welcome, both of you.
Hello.
Is it the first time you've met here?
Yes, it is.
It is.
I'm such a big fan.
Oh, good, good.
Of Strictly, I mean.
Very good. I like it. I like
We'll get you a signed bit later.
You two got something in common, haven't you? Strictly, business.
Yeah, that's true. You were in the final. I left in week 3. We're like
You were
swapped up there.
fabulous. I remember watching you. You were
Well, you did
great.
on the same year.
Yeah. No, I mean, you actually were the most recent one last year, weren't you?
Yes, last year.
So I was
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah. Did you love it? Did you enjoy
I
it?
did. Do you know what I really loved? It was just like letting go and embracing all the sequins, the fake tan, the wigs. Like it was fun to play dress up.
Yeah, it
Anyway,
was.
you
Like the
can talk-
costume.
You can talk about that in a minute when you sit in the car.
He's busy now in the kitchen.
Shall I just show you what you're about to drink?
Oh, okay.
Right, I'm chopping some fresh mint here, which I've picked from your garden.
Nice, okay.
This is...
I love watching a chef cut things because if that was me, I'd be like soaring away. And
Oh,
you're
no, I
just...
just-
It's unreal, this mint.
everywhere.
The smell of this mint is brilliant, honestly. Then you cut your cucumber.
Nice. This looks healthy.
Yeah, this is a very, very healthy drink, okay? So it's got cucumber, it's got a little bit of ginger ale, because I didn't want to use ginger beer.
Right.
So I've got ginger ale and a non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, nice. Okay,
I've
so this is a
mixed.
mocktail.
And there's mango puree, fresh mango, lime and lemon. And I blended all of that together
Oh, here's one you made earlier. Okay.
to turn into something like this. And then what we do is we put it in the
I love mango.
cocktail
Mango's
shaker.
my favourite
Yeah,
fruit.
it's nice, isn't it? And it's just
I'll
nice
put
and
it
like
back
zesty and yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Cucumber skin, by the way, how good is that for us? It's good for everything, for our eyes,
Was that right?
bags under the eyes like I got.
Well, you always see people put it on their eyes like for a facial,
Yeah,
don't
like a
you?
little pamper.
Yeah. So what's in cucumber? Is it to do with like antioxidants?
It's an antioxidant and it's also good for digestion. It's good for cooling, you know, when you got something spicy.
Yeah.
When you have a curry or something.
Cleanse the palate.
Yeah, if you chop some cucumbers and just drop it in, always cools it down.
Nice. Okay.
And that's why I've used it here. And let's see
Great.
what the result is of
Okay,
this
shall we
mocktail.
try it then? Right. Well, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
Salute, signorina.
Excited. Sorry.
Let's try. That's nice. Didn't expect it to taste like that at all.
Really
actually.
refreshing.
I need you both to conserve some energy because later on I'm going to take you out onto the patio and we're going to get artistic and create some lamps. But first of all, I want to have a good catch up with you.
Yeah.
So should we come and sit down with the drinks? Thank you so
You
much.
two go and relax with
Thank
my
you.
drink.
Yeah, we'll leave you to tidy up.
I'll bring a
Is that
nibble
all right?
later as well.
Right. Just never want to spill it on the carpet. Do you like the retreat?
It's gorgeous. It's lovely here, and it's a beautiful day as well.
Yeah, I know, it's perfect, isn't it?
Love
Yeah.
it.
Well, I'm so glad you're here because I'd love to chat to you about your new memoir. When I saw it, I was like, oh, I would have loved to have read this as a younger girl. Like, this would have been something that would really have helped me. Was that your intention with the memoir?
100%. I think, you know, growing up, I didn't really have anybody to look up to. And being in this space, I always say this space for everybody in this industry. And for me, it's just kind of, OK, this is my chance to really push the boundaries and share a part of myself that's quite vulnerable. You know, it's scary. I was writing the book and I thought there's some chapters where it really delves deep into my childhood, you know, especially living a disability.
What was your childhood like?
I had a very good childhood, luckily. You know, my parents were so supportive. They really, really were my heroes. Was good, but school was also tough, you know.
Yeah, so how was your life different growing up? So you were born deaf, is that right?
Yeah, so I was born completely deaf and I got the first cochlear implant when I was 5 years old.
Wow, so young.
Yeah.
Do you remember that or not?
No, it's
Yeah.
a bit sad because back then we didn't have iPhones, you know.
Yeah.
There's no video recording of that first moment.
Yeah.
My parents said, you know, the first thing I heard was birds,
Oh,
you know,
right.
tweeting, and I was
Yeah.
just looking around thinking, wow, you know, where's the sound coming from? And I think, you know, I struggled throughout school because I was the only deaf student in my school. Nobody else was. And I think at that time, you're also trying to figure out who you are as a person. You're thinking about your career, you're thinking about the pressures of a teenager as well, especially as a woman. You know, we go through a lot of emotions and changes in our bodies. And I think at the time, I just really struggled with my identity of who is Tasha, you know, who is this person? And I used to hide my cochlear implant in school. I used to wear my hair down. I never would even talk about it. And I always say dancing was actually the thing that made me open up as a person.
When did you get into dancing then?
So I started actually in high school. I remember I started when I was little, basically. I went to dance studios, and then in high school I really pushed it even more because I felt so safe. It was my
Yeah.
safe space off, away from school, away from everything else. That's a moment where I can just really let go
Yeah.
and not think about...
Quite liberating, I
Yeah,
suppose.
like a butterfly, you know, opening your wings and just being set free. That's how it felt every
I
time.
love that
danced.
analogy. That's amazing. Yeah.
Loved it.
And then obviously writing the book, it's called Your Superpower.
Yeah.
So it's not just about your experiences. Did you have to go and meet other people and find out about their experiences to write this book then?
So throughout the book, I have this thing called my superheroes.
okay.
So they are other celebrities with different kind of disabilities, got alopecia, mental health, blindness.
Oh, it's so broad.
Yeah, so it's really broad. And they come in and talk about some experiences and how they overcame it. And each chapter represents different things like love, respect, you know, how to overcome bullying and how to overcome your identity, how to find yourself.
Was there one person that really stood out to you that stayed with you?
Bradley Riches.
Okay.
Yeah, Bradley. He was on Heartstoppers on Netflix, and
Okay.
he's a great advocate, he's a great person, and what he wrote in the book is beautiful.
What's his story then?
So his story's got ADHD.
Right.
And he really just opens up about how it affected his life, but how he really utilises that on his platform. And that's the beauty of it, you know, each person has different things to bring into the book, and it's not an autobiography, so each reader can bring something totally different from the book.
Right. Oh, that's brilliant. It sounds like it's something for everybody. I think that's where the public sort of first met you on
Yeah.
Love Island.
Yeah.
So was that a difficult time for you? I suppose in the villa you don't know what's happening on social media.
Yeah.
But when you came out, were people particularly unkind to you then?
I had a lot of ableism, unfortunately. I think in the time I kind of thought, I'm going to use this as a positive thing. You know, I use this, okay, I'm going to use my platform to educate. It could have gone the other way, but I'm very strong-minded, luckily, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep fighting against this. And people didn't understand why my voice may sound different or what a cochlear implant was. And I was very sensitive in the villa as well, you know. I'm very overwhelmed in different conversations, different voices. I get tired a lot quicker. So there's many times in there where I didn't feel completely myself because
And I
was
suppose
so
people wouldn't
drained.
understand that either.
No, no.
But actually, we saw the kind of person you are in that none of that deterred you. You went on to go into Strictly as recently as, you know, you were the class of 2024. Second deaf contestant they've had, and you made it to the final.
You know, Strictly was my biggest dream show, and it was kind of an opportunity just to go and just show who Tasha is, and I felt so honoured to be able to go on there and, you know, be dazzled on my cochlear implant. You know, I was getting people decorating there, sending me pictures.
And what a difference, like you talk about younger Tasha hiding that, you know, pulling your hair over it, to then actually like showcasing it to 13 million people on the biggest show on Saturday night telly. I thought it was brilliant because when I watched you, I was like, here's a young, beautiful, talented woman showing people that if you need certain aids or assistance in life, it's not unsexy, it's not to be hidden, it's not embarrassing. These just enhance our experiences, and then we're able to go and do everything our peers do, you know, and I just loved that pride and how you walked through that dance floor and did that. So, and that work and that advocacy, it's continued. Like you're doing a lot of charity work within the deaf community, aren't you?
Yeah, no, charity work's always been so important for me. You know, even before Love Island, I was working with charities before, and I still work with them now, and I think it's so important to give back. I'm a massive person that believes in you know, giving back is, you know, it's free. You know,
Yeah.
it didn't take up much of my time, and I'd rather put time into something that matters to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very, very lucky to work with great charities. You know, the other time I worked with Department of Education,
Okay.
and I visited a deaf kids school.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that was beautiful, you know,
Yeah.
teaching them a dance class, and
Yeah.
they all hear music so differently.
Yeah.
And it was amazing how everybody came together and just celebrated love through dance.
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
it
It's
was
a
incredible.
powerful message. Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, I hope you continue to do many great things, because seeing you successful and seeing you shining is so powerful for everybody. And the book's gorgeous, actually. We should have a look at the cover.
Colourful.
Yeah, it's
quite
gorgeous.
colourful.
It's available now wherever you get your books, Your Superpower. So do pick up a copy of that. Now, this is very interesting because a little bit later on, I'm going to get you doing some interior design, and it's all these kind of colours, all these pops. We're going to be decorating some lamps. So are you into being creative in that way as well? Do you find that, like, mindfulness? Do you find it relaxing?
Definitely. I love, you know, being artistic. Like, even through dancing, I love moving my body. But every now and then I do like to draw or paint, or,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like it's really takes your mind off things as well.
Yeah.
It relaxes you in different ways.
Well, we'll get those creative juices flowing. Now, after the break, I'm going to be welcoming my guest of honour to the retreat, and I will be holding Aldo and Tasha to that. We're going to be getting creative with an interior design masterclass. It's going to be pom-poms and tassel fringing galore. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back to my weekend escape. Now, I'm on my way to meet today's guest of honour, but before I do that, it's my weekly catch-up with my crew.
Yo.
Yo.
How's it going?
It's good, it's good. We're having a great show today. Retreat is busy and bustling. Now, I know you're always busy outside of the retreat in the celebrity world. You're on other shows, you're on telly. Do you ever get recognised for your TV work when you're out and about?
I do, yeah. So a lot of people will see me in the street and look at me and I think, oh, they recognise me from my time on the One Show or This Morning or something like that. And then they might ask for a photo.
Okay.
And then they'll often say things like, oh, I'm coming to see you on Wednesday in Manchester. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And then they think they're with Mark Owen. From
I can see that.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not going to Manchester next week. They're like, really? What's going on here?
You're not just looking like him, you do sound
I
like him.
do sound like him as well.
Yeah.
I've met Mark Owen a few times, and every time Nikki Chapman was with us, and she said, Mark, you're the doppelganger of Michael. And he looked so insulted.
Oh, no,
He was
really?
like, I don't look anything like this fella, you know. And I was like, I didn't say that, somebody else said it, you know. But we ended up having a bit of a laugh at the end.
Yeah.
He needed a haircut, quite frankly, so...
Well, we've got a lot of haircuts going on today. We have a lovely male. We've got Rich today.
Yep.
So I know you're going to be tidying him up. And Rich has a military background.
Yeah.
And actually, you have history in the military.
I do.
Which is quite interesting, because how do you transition from that world into this world of makeup artists?
Yeah, people are always a bit thrown. They're like, how long have you been a makeup artist? And I was like, well, actually, I was a nurse in the military. So I was in the Air Force and I specialised in burns. So
Okay.
I was doing that job for a long time. And then
How long did you do all that for?
7, 8 years.
Oh, it's a long
I was there
time,
for-
big part of your life.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I became a mum
Right.
and thought I don't want to get deployed or anything like that. So I just went back to what I first wanted to do, which was be a makeup artist.
Yeah, and it's sort of like in nursing, you're helping people heal and recover and you're nurturing them. But actually, I think in makeup, there's an element of that, because people are vulnerable, aren't they, when
They're
with
so
you?
vulnerable. So often people will sit in your chair and they will tear themselves apart.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I hate this about myself, I don't like this, and apologise for the way that they look. And I suppose because I've helped people, you know, go through burns injuries or maybe had surgeries like Richard's had done, so life-changing injuries.
Yeah.
And although it's very different, people have a very broken idea of their reflection.
Yeah.
And so you're helping them sort of break that down and also help them go, actually, you've got beautiful eyes. Has anyone
Yeah.
ever told you you've got beautiful eyes? So what I try and help people do is sit in the mirror and go, actually, I want to enhance my eyes or my lips
Yeah.
and help them change the way they think about themselves. And because of doing that kind of job, it makes you really appreciate your health and that we should really not take for granted
Yeah, a bit of gratitude.
where we are today
Yeah.
and what we've got.
Yeah, I'm
you
going
know?
to change it from the glam room to the therapy room.
Yeah.
Because then it is true, isn't it? Like hair, makeup, all these things. It's sort of this all-over thing of like, we're pampering people here, but it's also about like pausing and sort of taking a bit of a restock, isn't it?
I think the interesting thing is it's on the surface, but it's also inside.
Yeah,
you know.
I think you're right.
Interesting like that.
Okay, guys, right. I guess you'll send me the invoice later.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the pep talk.
See you next week.
I'm off. See you next week.
Always a
Cheers.
pleasure.
Yeah. We all know someone who goes the extra mile, but my guest of honour today quite literally does just that. Ex-serviceman Rich Potter became the first disabled person to ever conquer the world's most challenging trek, the 220-mile snowman trek in Bhutan. Hi, Rich.
Hi, Katie, how are you?
I'm good. It's great to meet you.
Thank you, and you. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. What do you think of the retreat?
Love it so far. I mean, what a beautiful venue, and obviously the sun is shining, so what's not to like?
Yeah, so I've heard quite a lot about you, and you don't sound like a man that normally retreats.
I try not to.
So you're very active. I mean, I'm actually sat in front of a world record holder, is that right?
Yes, correct. I am
Yeah.
a world record holder.
So what led you to break records?
I wanted to change the way that society views disabled people. I think there's a strange narrative in our society. We look at disabled people with the view that they can't do something, and we focus on that as opposed to what they can do. So the whole point was to try and change the way society looks at us.
Why do you think society does that? Like, why is that the general perception?
I don't think it's malicious. I think it's more sympathetic. I think they see us in wheelchairs and on crutches and in prosthetics legs, and they just sort of think, oh, those poor people. You know, you can be at home watching Netflix. Don't worry about gaining weight or being unambitious. It's fine. You've got a whole pass. But yeah,
So,
this
like,
was
the bar. You feel like the bar is low.
absolutely. And this whole purpose of the Limitless expedition was to increase that bar.
It sounds like you've had some incredible achievements in your life. Tell me how it started.
So it all started on the back of a bus in Vietnam when I met a young man who had just finished a year at Sandhurst, the Royal Military Academy, and I thought, that sounds incredible, getting paid this money to fire weapons and do obstacle courses. So I
How
applied.
old were you then?
I was 26.
Okay.
I applied, I eventually got in, and I commissioned from Sandhurst. I joined the Royal Logistic Corps. I became a contracts officer. And then I had a really bad football injury not long before that, and it just didn't get better. I had this horrible hole in the cartilage in my ankle, and ultimately led to me needing surgery. So I had surgery in Croydon, and unfortunately for me, I developed sepsis.
Right, okay. And was that quite immediate after the operation, or was that some time into recovery?
That was less than 24 hours after
I
the
see,
operation. I
okay.
was at home, and my wife woke me up at about 1 o'clock in the morning because my side of the bed was drenched. It was
Right.
January, so it certainly wasn't the weather. And as she pulled the blanket back, she noticed a red neon line tracking up my leg up towards my tummy.
Right.
So we got rushed into A&E in Kingston Hospital, and she was told that I would not likely make it through the night. I wasn't aware of a huge amount. I was on a lot of medication, as you might
Okay.
imagine, and the only thing I recall is as I went into the anaesthetist room, the doctor said, "Rich, I'll do everything that I can to save your leg."
Right.
And of course, I woke up the next morning, I pulled back the blanket, and my leg was still there, so that's great. But unfortunately, after 6 weeks of 5-star hospital accommodation, I developed osteomyelitis, so it's a bone infection. The days turn into weeks, the weeks turn into months, and then we're kind of a year post-sepsis.
Well, also, like, you know, 2 years of battling infections as well. Like, what that does to you mentally.
Well, I think mentally it's really tough, and I was clinically depressed. I'm not going to make any bones about that.
Yeah.
And there were times where I literally didn't want to be alive anymore. I felt like a burden to my wife and to my family and to my friends, and I was on so much medication. I was essentially a zombie. So I had this amazing surgeon who said to me, "Rich, what are you doing? Just have an amputation."
Right, okay.
Which sounds quite brutal, right? And they just realised that it needed to come off, and 3 months later it came off, and life's been pretty awesome ever since. I needed to get my life back, and this
Yeah.
was the only way to do it.
So it's not living, is it? You're existing.
Surviving.
Yeah, it's a strange concept of, I don't want to like put words in your mouth, but is it a sense of relief post that operation?
It was huge relief. When I came back from the operation, it was 3 hours, and I was smiling as if somebody had flicked a switch in the back of my head.
Yeah.
It's like I was just back to being normal Rich again.
And then you got involved with the British Legion. How did that come about?
So I was on a course called Battleback with the Royal British Legion in Lilleshall in Shropshire. It's a purpose-built centre to help veterans and serving personnel recover
okay.
various physical and mental injuries. And that's where I first heard about the Invictus Games.
Wow. So then, 2023, tell me about that. I mean, this is incredible.
So the Royal British Legion were responsible for managing Team UK for the Invictus Games, and I applied and I got selected, which was amazing. Went out to Dusseldorf, just had the best time of my life. Yeah, it was just so bizarre to go out there, and having been told I wouldn't run again, I somehow find myself at the starting line for the 100 metres finals. And it's just the most bizarre feeling because you're looking down that track and all you can think about is the gun going. But at the same time, your head is telling you, wow,
It's surreal, isn't it?
You're at the finals of the 100 meters.
Yeah.
And the gun goes, and you run as fast as you possibly can, and you finish, and you look up at the big screen, and you find out that you win a gold medal. So it's a pretty nice feeling.
Yeah, and it's a huge message to everybody, isn't it? Not just people directly affected by disability. It's like that message of like, never tell anybody, never let anybody tell you who you are or what you can or cannot do. You know, it's like we set that bar for ourselves, and I suppose you broke down barriers that people put in your way.
Absolutely, and I think we're all very resilient people. I think sometimes we just don't realise it.
Yeah.
We all encounter adversity on a daily basis, but again, we sometimes just don't realise it. But it's there, and yeah.
And then you went on to do a trek, is that right?
I realised I needed to do something. I came back from Germany, and the Royal British Legion had this amazing homecoming party, which was lovely, and that ended, and it was just like, now what?
Yeah.
I was back to being a full-time dad.
Yeah.
And I realised I needed to find something to kind of navigate my way through life. So I thought, well, let's have a challenge. And if you're going to do a challenge, why not make it something pretty special? So a world record seemed like the logical choice. Started researching various bits in different continents, and Bhutan came up, which is this beautiful country between India and Nepal.
Ah, okay.
And they've got something there called the Snowman Trek, which is
Snowman Trek?
Snowman Trek.
Oh, right, okay.
Which is affectionately billed as the most difficult trek in the world.
What makes it so difficult?
The distance, the terrain, the altitude, the very narrow window for completing it because of monsoons and snowstorms.
Oh, yeah, the climate. Okay, right.
Yeah.
And that's how you got the world record then?
Yes, so we started very well, myself and my teammate Dickie from Invictus Games, and after 12 days, unfortunately, he was unable to carry on. He had issues with his prosthetic leg, and that meant that it was me for the duration. But I'm proud to say that after 28 days, I somehow stumbled across the finish line and earned myself a place in the history books. The first and only disabled person to complete the Snowman Trek.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. So it's 220 miles, is it?
Yes, it was 220 miles, 15 mountain passes, 5,750 metres.
Okay, well, actually, hearing all of this, I'm like, okay, I don't know how easy you're going to find it to relax at the retreat, because it doesn't seem like that's your sort of natural thing to do. What do you do to sort of unwind and chill out? How do you find stillness?
I love being a dad. We adopted our little boy Theo when he was 15 months, and he is now just my purpose, really. He gets me out of bed every morning. I love going to the park. I love cycling.
Is he quite an active little boy?
He's very active. He's full of energy.
And obviously your wife nominated you to come here today and actually switch off from all of that. There is no purpose today apart from to just relax and enjoy yourself. So are you able to do that? And are you up for a bit of a mamper? And I've stolen that word off you. I normally would say pamper to our female guests of honour, but a mamper it is with you today.
I'm certainly up for it. Whether or not I can go through with it, let's see.
All right, well, let me take you to meet the glam squad.
Thanks,
Come
Katie.
with me.
Thank you.
Right, come and meet the glam squad. This is Rich.
How you
This
doing,
is
man? You all right?
Michael.
How you doing? Nice to meet
This
you,
is
Michael.
Genevieve.
Rich, I'm a hugger. Bring it in. Nice to meet you, mate.
Hi, Jen. Nice to meet you.
Yourself
I would have
comfy.
hugged as well.
We can
Oh,
hug
go
us.
on then. Feeling
Great
left
to meet you.
out.
Come and grab a seat and...
Thank you so much.
Make yourself at home.
Feeling a bit nervous now.
Wow, you're not the first man. This is our second man to come into the pamper chair. And, you know, men need a bit of love and self-care as well, don't they?
Got a good head of hair here.
Yeah.
Good genes you've got here, Richard. Nice. Any do's or don'ts for you in your easy, I presume?
Just don't shave it all off.
Don't shave it all.
No.
Okay, we can shave some of it off.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I'd like to give you my hair, to be honest.
I'll take it.
Yeah, we need
I'll
some
take it.
extensions, don't we?
I'll take it.
Okay, so a nice little short back and sides, I would have thought, and do something kind of cool on top here.
Yeah.
Just a bit of extra.
There's quite a lot to work with on top there. Yeah.
You've got a hairy face as well, I've noticed. Which I know it's old-fashioned.
Yeah.
But we probably need to trim this down a little bit, do we? Make this a little bit...
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Tidy it up a little bit.
What's your normal routine with it? Do you always have a beard and a moustache? Like, how often do you groom?
So this is actually a hangover from Bhutan.
Oh, right,
Obviously,
okay.
when you're out there, you don't want to be shaving at 5,500 metres. So
Yeah.
I kind of came back, and Ellie sort of liked it. So it's been reasonably clean and tidy, but I've let it
Okay.
go the last couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
So how long is it since you've trimmed this then?
we're probably coming up to almost a month now.
Almost a month.
Well, that's
Okay,
not that
great.
long then, is it?
Well, you
I'm just thinking about my armpits.
You can clap.
Well, you'll be pleased to know I've bought some new equipment. These have never been used before, so hopefully they'll be nice and sharp.
Okay, well, that's the hair. Now, obviously, Jen, you're a makeup artist, and we are seeing a lot more, particularly on social media, that men are paying more attention to skincare, but also makeup. I mean, people are calling it man makeup, and it's saw different types of men that are using makeup, not necessarily for femininity, but just to maybe conceal or enhance what they've got and their features.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's obviously like quite elaborate makeup. We've got drag makeup and things like that. What I want to do is show how we can use skincare, just like a bit of concealer, things like that. And it doesn't have to make it look like Richard's wearing makeup. It'll look like skin, but just a little bit like how you would for TV makeup for men, you know, because men wear makeup on TV all the time. So.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
You're just so beautiful naturally.
There's Michael's back.
So we'll just do a little bit, but most of the emphasis will be on skincare.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So my husband, he's good with his skincare and he'll do like his brows and groom his sort of eye
I
area.
can't get my husband to moisturise.
Oh, really?
It's terrible.
Okay, well, it sounds like you guys have this covered between the three of you. After the break, I'll be learning all about the importance of lighting in your home and trying my hand at a bit of interior design. So if you want some top tips, make sure you join me after the break. Welcome back to my weekend escape. Tasha and I are just about to go out and have an interior design masterclass, designing our very own lampshade. But first, let's see how Michael's getting on. Michael, what's happening up there?
We've been very busy up here, haven't we, Jen?
So busy.
But it's an easy task. He's a good-looking fella. I mean, he's not as good-looking as me, but he's good-looking, right? So we've chopped off the back and sides here, and we've blended up. One of the tricks, really, with bloke's hair is to keep it square, which means it goes straight up at the sides and cuts flat across the top. This kind of square angle on the hairstyle here is what keeps it kind of masculine looking. Now, another tip, which is good for blokes out there, blokes don't know what to put in their hair. Like, do I put mousse in it? Do I put gel? Do I put wax? There are two types of styling products. There are resin-based styling products. These are the things that go hard. So gel, mousse, blow-dry spray. They're really good. That's where all the hold comes from. So you put that on first, right? We put a little bit of blow-dry spray on the hair first. Then we blow dry that in, right? So that product gets blow dried in, and now it's got a perfect base to put a waxy or a greasy or a clay type product on. So this is my next one. This is from Sebastian. It's called Craft Clay. It's my favorite wax, really. Take about the size of a 5p coin, you put it in your hands and you warm it up. It goes soft, and we put that on the hair. So it's going on top of the resin-based product, if you can imagine that. And that's how the whole thing comes together and gives you this loads of brilliant texture and hold, all right? So we'll put that in. Now, as that product cools down, it hardens, right? So you warm it up in your hands, you put it on the hair, it cools down, it starts to harden and then hold in place. And that is the perfect combination for products to go on short hair if you want texture and hold. You're very welcome. You get all that?
I got it, thank you.
Pretty good, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, Jen.
Right, okay, so obviously we're not doing a huge amount of makeup for Richard. We've focused mostly on skincare, so we've used an eye cream, we've done some lip balm, and we've used a really hydrating moisturiser. Now, Richard does have just a little bit of natural redness in his skin. You had a treatment done a few days ago, didn't you? Yeah, so that created a bit of redness. So I'm going to use my trusty green cream, and then we're just going to buff that in with a brush. We're not going to use the amount I've put on my hand, just soften it there. And then we're just going to buff that in where we can see a bit of natural redness, so there on the side of the nose. And then what we want to do is, if you suddenly neutralise redness, people can feel a bit pale. So then what you want to do is use a bit of bronzer, and this is a cream bronzer, so it feels just like skin. You go in.
Feels like skincare, does it? Doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like makeup, it doesn't feel heavy, but we're replacing the redness with a bit of warmth. So you look in the mirror and you just feel like, woo,
Nice.
I look fantastic.
You do.
Well, me,
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Richard, we all look
Richard,
fantastic.
Great. Okay. Well, we're in pretty good shape here, Katie. So we'll not long be finished, and then we'll come down and see you. How's that? All right.
Thanks, Michael. I'm here with designer and stylist Joanna Franks, who is going to show me how to make one of her incredible lampshades. Welcome to the retreat.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
You really brought the vibes.
I did. It's the vibe of my shop.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Thanks so much.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
So, I've always been into design. I'd studied at Chelsea School of Art.
Oh, wow, OK.
After there, I had my first business, which was making loads of crazy stuff out of fake fur.
Oh, what kind of stuff did you make?
So, leopard print toilet seat covers with pictures of Elvis and the Hoff on.
Oh, wow.
So I did that for 10 years.
Where were you selling them at this point then?
At Camden Market.
Oh, cool, okay.
So I had my little market stall there. Everyone used to call me Furry Joe. So I did that for 10 years, and then I was an interior designer for a while.
Yeah.
And while I was doing that and sourcing lighting for clients, just realised that all lighting was pretty bland and boring.
It's so overlooked, don't you think?
It really is,
Yeah.
it really is.
I feel that people just see it as functional and only have a lampshade, say, upstairs in the bedroom on the bedside table.
Absolutely. And what is great about them as well is if you want to switch up what your room looks like and instantly have a different vibe.
Yeah. Well, I like that actually because, you know, in lockdown, people were getting more into interiors.
Yeah, they
and
went crazy for
Yeah,
it.
but it was clever because to redo your whole house is so expensive. It's
Yeah.
not achievable for everybody.
Yeah.
Even just doing one room, you know,
Yeah.
you need to budget for that. But if you just change your lampshade or buy a new light...
Totally
you know,
different vibe.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we went bananas in
Oh,
lockdown.
you did?
Yeah.
I bet you did, yeah.
It just went through the roof crazy.
Yeah. If you had to describe your style, how would you encapsulate that?
Very much a maximalist. I love colour. The more pattern, the better. Pattern on pattern on pattern.
Are me and Tash going to have a go at it then?
You're going to make.
Yeah.
And I'm
okay.
going to show you how to paint.
Okay.
Ooh.
And Tash, you were talking earlier about you like painting. It's something you find quite sort of, you know, your version of mindfulness.
Yeah, I think it's about your mind, really. I feel like it relaxes your mind. You take your mind off things, you know, it's kind of therapy.
Yeah. Let's get into some therapy.
I love it.
So shall I teach you first?
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to make one of these stripy lampshades.
Love it.
So what you need is your lampshade. If you turn it to the seam here, and then if you pass some tape over,
Yeah.
and then this is just decorator's tape. Go up to the seam, wrap around the edge like that, and then this is how you get every stripe the same size. We're going to take another piece. Take your next piece. So put that one up, and then you're going to wrap that one around the edge like the first one.
Got this.
So again, you put your guide tape down.
Okay, you look like you're getting on with that, Tash.
yeah, I'm getting the hang of it now.
All good?
Yeah, I'm getting
Right,
there.
ho. I'll leave you to it.
Okay, so what are
Pixie
we
and I
going
are
to
going
do
to make
then?
a shade.
Oh, we are? Okay, brilliant. Right.
Okay, tools for the job. You need your binding tape.
Okay.
You need your scissors, lampshade frame, lovely Love
Look at
Frankie
these
fabric.
prints. I'm instantly drawn to the orange and the pink. I love
Okay.
the kind of colour clash.
Let's
It's
go
cool.
for it.
Yeah.
And the checks will be much easier than the stripes.
Okay, all
as
right,
well.
that's good to know.
So,
Okay.
so what we're going to do, we're going to lay out the fabric. So this is flame retardant PVC, which
Right.
you have to use.
Oh, okay, so that's important from like a safety aspect. is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what you want to do is you want to make sure
Oh, I
that
see.
your PVC is lining up with
You need that
the
perfect
edge of the
alignment.
pattern.
Yeah, okay.
Right, so we've started to stick it down. We're going to flip it all over.
Right.
What you're going to do is slowly peel off the backing paper.
So that goes back.
It's easier if you see it from that side, exactly the way you're doing it.
Like
so you
this?
can pull with one hand, smooth with the other.
Okay. Right.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, nice, okay. So what do you think, like, you know, I'm just thinking back to when I first moved out of my mum and dad's and it was like my first kind of home.
Yeah.
How do you take a place, like a space from being like a house into a home, like interior-wise?
I mean, I really think that lighting is pretty much everything. Because you can, even if you're renting somewhere, as long as you've got good lighting and you're creating that atmosphere, you know, you can really turn a room into somewhere special. Right.
So,
Okay.
the stripes are ready.
Yes, just make sure everything is pushed down really well. Right, what you're going to do now, we're using these lovely paints from a company called Guild Lane, and just choose your weapon. If you want to mix them up, you can mix it in there. Just
lovely.
go wild. Grab yourself a flat brush from over there, and then you just start slapping it on. You just paint all the fabric bits, basically. You basically just peel the tape off at the end, and then you have perfect lines.
So I paint on this.
On the
this.
fabric bits, yeah.
Oh, and then I get it now. I get it.
Okay.
Tell you what, I'm getting a real sense of achievement. Do you know
Okay,
what I mean?
good.
It's quite
That's
satisfying.
what we like.
Oh, amazing. You must feel so proud when you see your pieces in people's homes online and Instagram. and things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially as I started 16 years ago, just making a lampshade one day, and then all of a sudden we're a team of 6, and
Yeah.
there's stuff, you know, flying out everywhere.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's good. It goes down pretty well.
Tash, are you doing lots of interior purchases at the moment?
Well, I just moved house.
Yeah.
So actually I am, you know, even decorating. I'm trying to add more colour.
Well, this is going to go perfect in
I
your
know.
house.
You've now got a new lampshade you can take home with you.
It's my favourite colour, so I feel like it's a great match.
Perfect.
Love it.
If you want to make sure that you've painted it all, if you hold it up to the light, you can see the bits you missed. That's a little trick. If you hold it by the frame as well, you won't get paint everywhere.
Okay, how have I done?
Perfect.
Yeah, really?
A tiny little bit ski whiff, but
Yeah. Not bad for a first time.
I'm not going to offer you a job yet.
No.
Bit more practice.
Apprenticed.
Right, okay, the next bit is we're going to get our tapes.
Okay.
One bit of tape is going here, and this
Right.
will make the seam, so you'll end up with a really lovely,
Oh,
neat
I see.
seam. Right, so that's your seam.
Okay.
Done.
Nice.
Spin that round. We're going to trim the other end.
It's great how with this material, you don't need like a hot iron or a steam or anything to like set
No,
it.
it's
or-
great.
Yeah.
Right, now this bit is quite tricksy, so I'm going to do this bit for you.
Okay. What's
Put on our
this?
binding tape.
Okay.
So this bit of tape will hold the frame.
Yeah. How are you getting on, Tash?
I'm excited to take the stripes off and see it.
Yeah.
The finishing
That's the
product.
fun bit.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh, wow, it's taking shape now, isn't it?
it really is.
Yeah.
So now is time for the frame.
Okay. Can we make this one a ceiling one?
We sure can.
I'm mapping out where it's going in my house, you see.
Okay, good. Well, you can take this home.
Oh, amazing.
And then you can put it on Instagram.
Yeah, of course.
Right, so we're going to start by taking off the red tape. And then we just pop our frame in like that.
Yeah.
And then you bring it right up to the edge.
Okay.
And that'll all stick there very nicely.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get you to do the hand rolling.
Okay. Is there a
So-
certain method to do it then?
What you need to do to start with is where the little spokes are.
Oh, I see.
You need to make a little cut
Okay, so small incisions down to the frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
so that it all sits really nicely.
Lovely. Okay.
How are you getting on?
I think I've done it all.
Is it time to take the
Is
tape
it
off?
time? It's the satisfying part, isn't it?
Go for it.
How
These are professional.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's such a neat
how
way
nice
of
is
doing
that?
it.
That's a very good one.
Yeah, that's really good. In that time, I've pulled off one piece
Oh,
of
there
tape.
you go.
There's another piece, right.
Right, and the technique is you need both hands. You're kind of pulling the frame up to keep it on the edge
Oh, to
with
make
that
it
hand.
sort of tight, yeah.
And then you're just wrapping that round and you can just go round. That's it, lovely.
Yep. So there is a job for me after all.
Yeah.
so.
That's perfect. That's it.
I think when you buy from designers, particularly where they're self-made, that's what you're
You're
supporting.
buying into them.
Yeah, and actually
I
that's what you
agree.
appreciate.
Yeah.
That's looking great, Tash.
I'm getting there.
Are you happy with it?
One more left.
Yeah.
I think it's quite funky.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. Right, you're going to
So you want to go in at an angle
Yeah,
so you don't catch the tape. Go right in,
right.
put the whole frame in,
Like that.
and then you lift, and then you push it
Okay.
up to the rim, all the way round, and then you're ready to do the white tape again. That's awesome.
I know.
Well, there you go. You got a new lampshade.
Right, we're going to finish off our interiors, but make sure you join me after the break when we finally get to see what magic Michael and Jen have worked on my guest of honour, Rich. He's conquered the world's most challenging trek, but the challenge today is to sit still. See you soon. Welcome back to my weekend escape. My guest of honour, Rich, will be joining us in a little while, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Michael and Jen have done. Now, Aldo has been busy making more of his lovely mocktails from earlier. So what's this mocktail called?
This is specially for you because it's a Sunday sensation.
Oh, I like that. Will you serve this at your new restaurant, Elaine?
Yes, Elaine's will have these on the menu in the bar, and we'll do some aperitivo evenings where you pay for these, but you get free food. What can
Nice.
possibly go wrong there?
And this is the start of something, well, not something new, but you're returning back to the restaurant industry after, what, 20 years?
20 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I wasn't bored, but I feel like I've gotten a few restaurants in me yet before I put my feet up.
Well, let's go and spoil the guests with these
100%.
drinks, shall we? Should we take them over? Here we go, ladies. There we go.
Thank you.
And Ellie, I must
grab one,
welcome you to the retreat over a mocktail. Welcome.
you.
It's great to have you here. And cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Here's to a great day.
Cheers.
Salute.
Salute, indeed. Yeah. Have you enjoyed yourselves?
Yeah, it's been so lovely.
It's been amazing. It's been such a good day.
Yeah. Has it brought out your inner artist, Tash?
It has, like even the lampshade, you know, the satisfying peeling back the tape.
You were good at that.
Loved it. It was really nice, very relaxing.
I'm going to put that in my restaurant.
Yeah,
My
actually.
lampshade.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Very
Not your
Great commission. There we go.
Not your lampshade.
That's a big order. Ellie, how did you meet Rich in the first place?
We met skiing quite a long time ago now, about 14 years ago. So
okay.
yeah, I was still very young at the time and, very active.
So you've been together a long time then?
We have been together a long time, for 14 years, married for 13 years this summer.
And it's funny because, you know, that is like a long time to be married, but actually a lot of people won't go through what you've been through as a couple in an entire lifetime, actually. And you know, some people will never have to face that. What's it been like for you as a wife?
Do you know what? You just deal with what's in front of you. I love him. I loved him then. I still love him now. And I just wanted to get him through whatever was happening that day, you know, let alone that week or month. So, you know, we just keep going, even when things get tough, and try and enjoy life whenever you can.
It must almost feel like a bit of a blur. Like, did that really happen to you?
Yeah, it does. But it's something you grow from, isn't it? You know, you take these little experiences in life and you learn from them, you grow and you carry on.
You must be so proud of him and his recovery. Yeah. But also it's gone to an extended, you know, he's gone out into the world and probably touched people's lives that he's never even met as well.
Absolutely, and he absolutely hates being called an inspiration, but he is. He inspires people on a daily basis, down from children in schools when he goes in and gives them talks. People in the park, you know, just wanting to see his leg and touch it, and he will very happily hand his leg over to a kid and be like, you can be a robot too.
Just normalising these things.
Absolutely, and that's what he wants to do. He wants people to see disabled people as capable human beings, which I think sometimes we don't always do.
It's really touching to hear about the support that you've given each other and sort of a long, happy marriage. Do you have any secrets for having a long, happy marriage?
Take each day as it comes, and don't go to bed on an argument.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. What made you nominate Rich?
So Rich is always on the go. He's always busy, whether he is planning, you know, to trek through the Himalayas or just being a full-time dad. He just doesn't stop. And I thought it would be a really nice opportunity for him to realise what he's done and reflect back on the last year especially.
Well, listen, guys, let's live in the moment, and I think this moment's going to be incredible. I think he's ready. I think I can see Michael. Oh my goodness! Wow!
Looking good, right?
Oh, come over here. Oh, can I hug you?
Yes,
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, guys, what's gone on up there?
He's looking good, is he not?
Yeah. How do you feel?
I feel good, thank you. I feel very mampered.
Yeah, mamper. you created that word and you've got me run with it. I like it. Yeah, it's incredible because I was thinking like, what, you know, we've done a lot of female makeovers.
Yes.
And actually, this is completely different.
It's been so nice to have a bit of testosterone in the gym.
Sorry, Michael, I have tried to put
Yeah. I mean, he's a bit tall and handsome for my liking, I have to say. But we did a little short back and sides here, a bit of texture on the top.
Took quite a lot off, actually.
We did quite a lot. We have taken quite a bit off, haven't we? You know, but he needed it. Let's face it. Been to Bhutan somewhere.
Were you resistant? Like it was happening in front of the mirror. Were you resistant, or you were?
I didn't get a choice. I just blinked it off.
Okay, all right.
I don't listen to my clients. I just do whatever I want.
That is really good to know.
He looks great. He looks great, though, doesn't
I really like. And also, you have quite piercing eyes, so I feel like when you take back the beard and the hair, you focus on the eyes. Yeah. Were you okay losing a bit of the beard? Because I know you quite liked it after you grew it.
I was ecstatic, and I think Ellie's probably happier than I am.
Oh, really? Well, we'll find out.
We've done a little bit of contouring around here. You know, we've edged it in a bit here just to emphasise the jaw a little bit. So that's a little trick, that.
I was going to say, it's not dead straight. It's like down to the shape of the jaw. All right, Jen, what about you? What did you do?
So the main focus was skincare. You've got quite a good skincare routine, actually, haven't you, Richard? So we just went with some really nice rich moisturiser, some eye cream, lip balm, a proper little pamper sesh, and then I just dabbled slightly with a bit of makeup. Richard was like,
Yeah.
we used a little bit of green cream because you'd had a treatment which had made your skin a little bit on the redder side. So
What's green cream?
So it neutralises the redness.
Oh, okay, so
it
like
had
a
a bit
colour
of pigment
correction.
in it as well. So
Okay.
it colour corrected and then gave a little bit of coverage. So what happens is sometimes when you neutralise someone's natural redness, they can feel really pale.
Oh, okay.
So I went in with a little bit of bronzer
Yeah.
and just dabbled that round, just on the high points of the face, just so that when Richard looked in the mirror, he wasn't like, oh, I look really pale.
Yeah.
But this just gives a really lovely sort of, I've been in the sun, I look really great sort of look.
I was going
which
to
is
say,
what we
you
want.
still look like you, but it's a rested version of you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So did you enjoy the process?
I love to thank you. I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, it's probably the most like still and sedentary you've been in years, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get used to it, though. Not with a 4-year-old at home.
That's true, yeah. Will you keep the hairstyle? Will you keep the cut up?
I will, as long as Michael's willing to see me every 5 or 6
What?
weeks.
That wasn't part of the deal. Yeah, of course.
You can take him home. He's been released from the retreat. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ellie, what do you think? Come on over.
I think he looks younger.
Yeah, I thought that. I didn't want to say, but I was like, I think the facial hair coming down gives him a fresher look.
He looks younger and he looks a little bit shocked.
Wow, what an amazing day that we've had. But our time here is wrapping up now, but I do hope that you're leaving with some new insights and experiences to cherish. Remember, you totally deserve to carve some time out for yourself and dive into something exciting today. And I can't wait to see all of you back here next Sunday for another fun adventure. See you next week.
Salute!
Yay! Oh, God, it's no focus.
When you're sweating.
A lot of sort of things that may have been painful as well, things that were embarrassed about, to talk about as well, and just like some of the life experiences and challenges have now turned into moments of laughter.
You got selected to carry the Queen's Commonwealth baton.
I did, and it was a real honour because I was 50 that year and I wanted to mark it with something.
OK, I better get back to some curling upstairs, all right?
He's got a makeover to do. Oh, look at you. You were right about the flower.